Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Be Now Coaching and Entertainment. For coaching, my links are down below. I have several different spiritual readings down below. I have a Patreon down below where I post almost every day. I'm going to say I post minimum 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Maximum 7 times. Average on 5 times a week. You know what I'm saying? I try to post every day though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Patreon down below. There's a Discord down below. Social media's down below. I have an astral projection course down below too. Everything's down below. Let's get into this video. Drop a like. I haven't dropped a teaching video in a little bit. I've been doing mad reactions, but I still do teach. And if you want more teaching, more, consistent teaching, Patreon is down below. Like I said, I upload almost every single day on there. So, yeah, drop a like. Subscribe if you're new, and we are going to talk about the war on your shadow. So we're going to talk about what your shadow is, what is dark consciousness, what is malevolence and malevolent consciousness, is your shadow evil, what is contained within inside your shadow, the first part of the war of your shadow, the second part of the war of your shadow, then also how to win the war, So we have a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. Drop a like, bro. Come on, bro. When I make reactions, I be liking those videos. So I mean, I be showing love. Y'all should show love to your boy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what is your shadow truly, right? Your shadow is pretty much the parts of yourself which are hidden from your normal everyday awareness. That is your shadow side. Pretty much what you're not aware of within inside of yourself, right? Whether you consciously decide to like repress things and not look at them and put them inside your shadow, or sometimes you just haven't discovered all the parts of yourself and some parts are hidden. It happens, Now, what is dark consciousness? Dark consciousness is simply an introspective consciousness. It does not mean good or evil. I made a video about light and dark consciousness with my boy King Cash. Go to his YouTube channel. You'll see the video and stuff like that. It was fire. But yeah, bro, dark consciousness is just being introspective. When you close your eyes, it's dark. When you open your eyes, it's bright and light, because light consciousness is outwardly expressive, you know what I'm saying? Dark consciousness is inwardly introspective. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, now, what is malevolence and malevolent consciousness? Malevolence is essentially evil, and evil is defined as having an intent to harm something or someone. So a malevolent consciousness is a consciousness which wishes to cause harm to something or someone else. This is the reason why dark and malevolent is not the same. Dark does not mean evil. If they did, they wouldn't be different words. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, dark consciousness is just introspective. Malevolent consciousness is actually evil and it wants to harm people. Niggas think that dark beings are demons. No, you know what I'm saying? Because a demon could be introspective or extroverted, you know what I'm saying? It kind of depends, right? Demons are not inherently dark beings. Demons are malevolent beings, though. How do we know this? Because the definition of a demon is literally just an evil being. Now, some people may say that not all demons are evil, but they're using the word demon wrong at that point, because the Google definition of a demon is an evil being. You see what I'm saying? So any evil, like if it's an evil being, it's evil. It's a malevolent being, not a dark being, a malevolent being. So when people say that not all demons are evil, they're either being manipulated or they just define demon differently. You know what I'm saying? Niggas act like demons are a race of being. No, it's any evil being. If you're evil, you're a demon, literally. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, is your shadow evil? Is your shadow side evil? Your shadow is not inherently evil because it's just the hidden parts of yourself, right? What's hidden is not always evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, we have past lives. Niggas don't always know they past lives. Your past lives are hidden there inside your shadow. Niggas think your shadow gotta always be like evil or gotta be dense. It's just what's hidden, whether it's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? Anyway, your shadow, right? So look, your shadow's not inherently evil. However, some people may have a tendency to not want to look at certain parts of themselves, which could be considered malevolent and evil. So because of this, malevolent aspects of a person can be tucked into their shadow, but your whole entire shadow will not be purely evil. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always hidden aspects of ourselves. So even if you stuff all your evil traits inside your shadow, not all of your shadow is evil. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, what actually are some things that are contained inside your shadow? pretty much inside your shadow, you have aspects of yourself which you normally wish to ignore and you repress, but you also have deep aspects of your soul. You have past lives inside your shadow. You have deep wisdom inside your shadow. Your karma stored inside your shadow, aka your past actions, your past thoughts, your past mental actions through your thoughts, your past emotional actions through your emotions and your feelings, and your past action and your past physical actions through your actual physical actions. You know what I'm saying? All that is stored inside of your shadow. You know what I'm saying? And there's a whole bunch more, which, yeah, these things are not always in your conscious awareness, so they're inside of your shadow. You see what I'm saying? So this brings us to the point of what is the war on your shadow. The war on your shadow is something which malevolent beings deliberately do to scare you as well as turn people evil, meaning that there's two aspects to the war on your shadow, either making you scared of your own shadow and or turning people evil. So here's the first aspect, right? Here's how making you scared actually works, right? So they make you scared by pretty much you have evil people who convince the world that your shadow is evil and that dark consciousness is the same as evil consciousness, right? Mad people think that their shadow is like their evil side. So therefore they want to tap into their shadow. You know what I'm saying? And then when they do shadow work, they're not even always doing the right thing. People who will do shadow work and only focus on like, oh, I need to heal the parts of myself which are not the best, right? People think that shadow just means like the parts of yourself which are not the best. Granted, if you are not comfortable facing the parts of yourself which aren't the best, then and then you repress them, at that point those things will be inside your shadow. But shadow work is just looking at the hidden parts of yourself, whether it's good things, bad things, neutral things, it's all the fucking same, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, evil people convince the world that your shadow is evil and that dark consciousness is evil consciousness, right? They make people believe that tapping into their shadow side and that tapping into dark consciousness means that you're tapping into your evil side and malevolent consciousness. So people be thinking that my shadow side is my evil side and tapping into dark consciousness is the same as tapping into an evil consciousness, but it isn't. I just define what these words actually mean. You see what I'm saying? So because they make all these lies up and they distort the truth, this makes people scared of tapping into their shadow and tapping into a dark introspective consciousness because those people don't want to become evil and experience malevolent energy. You see what I'm saying? So you would never tap into dark consciousness if you think that it's evil. You know what I'm saying? But if you get told what it actually is, you're like, oh, it means to introspect. I'm going to introspect. Why would I not do that shit? Why would I not find what's hidden within inside myself? You know what I'm saying? Why would you not do that shit? So because they make up all these lies, people never tap into the hidden aspects of themselves. People never tap into the hidden aspects of themselves to realize what's beneath the surface of their everyday consciousness. Because they never experience dark consciousness, they don't introspect as much. Therefore, they are not always aware of what's going on in the deeper levels of themselves. Now, here's why this is problematic. You see, people never realize the stuff that they are repressing and ignoring, which could cause mental, emotional, and or physical problems within inside their life. You see, if understand this, like you could hold, for example, you could hold resent towards a person with inside your shadow, but because you aren't aware of it, this causes deeper issues which can make you resent the whole entire world without realizing it. So sometimes people may hurt you and then you resent them and then you carry this resent, but if you don't want to observe it and look at it, you may just feel this energy of resent and forget who you feel it towards. Then you just feel it towards all people. Or let's not say you feel it towards all people, but because somebody hurt you and then you feel some kind of resent towards it that you didn't deal with, anytime you meet a person who reminds you of that person, you start to resent them. And there's many other things too. Inside your life, right? People will do things and not always be aware of why they're fully doing them because they're not aware of the hidden motives behind their actions. You see what I'm saying? When you become aware of your shadow, you start to see what actually underlies certain things. For example, some people may want to be famous, right? But they only want to be famous because inside their shadow they always felt like nobody was actually paying attention to them. You know what I'm saying? They have what's the like no niggas like he did, what's the word where you don't get enough attention inside your life? What is you become a there's a word for it, bro, an attention seeker, but that's not what I'm talking about. But it's something, it's some anyway. if you never, I'll just use that word for now. There's something else though, you know what I'm saying? But let's say you never got much attention when you were younger. Therefore, you become an attention seeker, right? You may not realize that you're an attention seeker if you're not looking at the hidden parts of yourself. They may get put inside your shadow. Attention seeking is now inside your shadow. And because of that, you have this urge to become famous, but you don't even realize that what you really want is the attention that you never had as a kid. You see what I'm saying? You may also try to be Mr. Macho Man or Mr. Macho Woman because when you were younger, you always felt like you were weak. Maybe you got bullied as a kid and you haven't really accepted what happened. Therefore, now you have this pretty much you have this I feel like a bitch syndrome inside your shadow, right? You low-key feel like you weren't strong enough as a child. You have that inside your shadow, which now makes you currently act like you're big macho man or big macho woman. However, you actually introspected into your shadow, you'd recognize that, holy shit, I'm only acting this way because I kind of felt like I was a bitch as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And then you would change how you act with inside the current present moment once you work through those issues. You see what I'm saying? But here's another problem, right? People when people don't tap into their shadow and tap into dark consciousness, right? When I mean your actual shadow, the actual hidden parts, and actually being introspective. When people don't do that, people also never tap deeper into their soul in order to understand themselves. Because of this, people may live more out of ego rather than soul awareness. People will also be more unaware of why they are how they are because they can't tap into their past karmas which made them who they are now, nor can they tap into their past lives and their soul's wisdom, which has helped to kind of form the character that you have now. Because the way you are now is because of your past lives, your past karmas, but it also is because of worldly influence too, right? But certain things that you always like, for example, let's say you were born, right? And you fucking love playing music, but no one in your family plays music. Maybe you're a musician, maybe you were a musician inside your past life, but you'll never understand the deeper meaning of that if you don't tap into your past lives. You could only access your past lives through going through your shadow, by going to the hidden parts of yourself, because your past lives are hidden. Your karmas are hidden most of the time. You need to actually tap into those and bring them to your light. You know what I'm saying? You got to use your dark consciousness to introspect and then bring these things to the light in order to be expressed properly. You see what I'm saying? Most people never do this because, well, many reasons why, but one reason is because they're scared of their shadow and they're scared of dark consciousness because they don't realize what it actually is. So therefore, people never realize their past lives, their past karmas, like certain issues that you have inside this life. You've always had those issues, and it'd be actually easier to work through those issues if you knew where they come from and why you had them. But people oftentimes cannot find these things out because once again, they're scared of their shadow and they're scared of dark consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Here's the second aspect, right? Which deals with making people evil. Here's how this works, right? So people inherently know, right? No. I'm not saying that you're told this, but deep down inside your soul, right? People inherently know that you need a light expressive consciousness and a dark introspective consciousness. Plus, there's people in the world who say that you need both dark and light, but they don't always understand this in the proper way. Because of this, people are going to be naturally drawn to tap into dark consciousness, right? Like, you'll always feel somewhat unbalanced if you're not tapping into dark consciousness, which once again isn't bad. It's just the need to be introspective. Sometimes you got to introspect, sometimes you got to be expressive. But people oftentimes confuse dark consciousness with evil consciousness, therefore they avoid tapping into dark consciousness, right? But if you avoid tapping into that, there's going to be some party that feels like you should be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not like avoiding it, inherently your soul knows that it needs the light and the dark, right? But if you don't understand it, it can kind of get weird, right? So like I said, you're going to naturally be drawn to tap into dark consciousness, right? Because of this, evil people will convince you that dark means evil, and they will convince you that you need to accept the evil within inside yourself in order to stay balanced with light consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, when it comes to the evil parts, because people will have sometimes like evil desires and evil urges. Now, you should look at those and try to work through them. But that's different than accepting them and expressing them. That's what evil people try to get you to do. You see what I'm saying? They're like, no, dark means evil, and because you need light and dark, you need good and evil. No, you don't need good and evil. What you need is introspection and expressiveness. You know what I'm saying? You need to be outwardly and inwardly focused. But people think that dark and light means you need good and evil. That's not what it's saying, right? So yeah, when evil people say this, that will scare some people, as I already mentioned. However, there's other people who truly do believe this and they don't see it as scary, but rather they decide to actually accept evil because they think that accepting light and dark means to accept good and evil. Like you do need to accept that there is good and evil inside the world, but you don't need to accept the fact that you are good and that you are also evil. No, you could be just truly good and work through evil parts of yourself. You know what I'm saying? When it says accept the light and dark, it means to accept the outer awareness and the inner awareness, not to accept good and evil sides of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So now, like I said, it is true, right? It is true that as humans, we may naturally have some malevolent urges. And you should accept the fact that you have them, but then you need to work through them in order to purify them and transcend them. This is not the same as accepting that you're partially evil and then leaving it at that. You're supposed to be real with yourself and accept that you indeed do have these urges, and because you have accepted that you have these urges, instead of repressing it, you can now work through the urges to get rid of them. So you don't just say, oh yeah, I'm evil too, and that's okay. It's like, oh shit, a part of me really is evil. Now that I'm aware of this shit, I should work on it. Because when you don't accept that a part of you might be evil, that part of yourself could get repressed and go inside your shadow. And at that point, part of your shadow would become quote unquote evil because you are putting the evil part of yourself inside there and not looking at it. Once you look at it, you're like, holy shit, I have potential to be evil. Let me actually work through this, purify it, and transcend it. You see what I'm saying? Now, evil beings will also tell you that power lies in the darkness, which they are defining as evil. And they will tell you that, oh, my fault. I should rephrase how I said that. Evil beings will also tell you that power lies in the darkness, which they define as evil. And they'll also tell you that they'll also tell you that the power lies in your shadow, but they define your shadow as their evil side. And they'll tell you that if you want to be powerful, you need to accept and tap into this dark energy, which they're using to actually mean malevolent energy, and tap into your shadow, but they're saying to tap into your evil side. So it's like, they'll be like, listen, bro, your dark side, your shadow and stuff, that's where all the power is. Tap into that. But they already brainwashed you to think that dark means evil and that your shadow means evil. You know what I'm saying? So what they're really saying is the power lies inside of evil consciousness and the evil sides of yourself. If you want power, tap into that. Now, this isn't even true because it's actually the light consciousness, the expressive consciousness, that is power, and the dark side of yourself, the introspection, is actually what grants you wisdom. Just look at the sun. The sun is a very powerful force and it blows out power. Then you have black holes, the complete opposite. Black holes suck things in. Now, granted, black holes can be seen as like a powerful thing, but the difference is the black hole is not expressing power. It's literally just a collapsed star that's sucking shit in. The sun is actually expressing power and beaming that shit the fuck at you. The black hole is not doing shit, just sucking things in. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to you, you can't be like, when it comes to power, power is something that you actually express. You express your power. You know what I'm saying? But when you introspect and tap into the dark side, you gain wisdom about yourself. So it's actually wrong. The darkness does not give you power, and neither does evil shit. You know what I'm saying? It's actually the light that gives you power. And actually doing evil actions is technically tapping into light consciousness, because in order to do something, you have to express yourself. So to do evil, you have to be in your light consciousness. So light doesn't mean good. Light could be used for good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Dark could be used for good or bad. You could either introspect and be like, you know what? I'm a real nice guy. I'm gonna tap into my shadow, work through that. Or you could introspect and be like, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna be an evil fucking bastard and kill it. You know, whatever it is, both light and dark can be used for good or bad. Depends on how you use it. You see what I'm saying? So first things first, they fucking lie, nigga. They lie about where the power is, right? You know what I'm saying? However, here's how they finesse you though, right? Here's how they finesse you, right? Because they tell you that the darkness is where the power is at. When they tell you this, you'll look to the dark to find power. And the thing is, this is where the finesse is, right? You may understand dark actually as introspection. Therefore, when they say that dark is power, you may be like, oh, to introspect, I'll find my power. But you'll never get power from that because introspection gives you wisdom. And at the very most, it will give you the potential of power by introspecting and finding parts of yourself which can be powerful if you do express them with like consciousness, right? Because people get taught mad things. People get taught that dark is evil. But let's say you never got taught that dark was evil, but you still got taught that dark was power, right? And you think that darkness is introspection. You're like, oh, okay, to be powerful, I gotta be in my dark consciousness. Then you meditate for all these days and you're still a weak ass person because to be powerful, you gotta actually express that power. Now, the darkness can help you with power because you could gain wisdom about different parts of yourself, which can be powerful if you express them, like I just said. You see what I'm saying? So it's a whole finesse. Now, really, right? Really, when they say that the dark is powerful, their whole entire goal, right, is to make you turn towards evil for power, which is why they also say that dark is evil and that the dark has power. They're saying that evil has power. So their whole entire goal is to make you look towards evil energy for power and to also block your ability to get wisdom from true dark introspective consciousness. If you think that dark is just evil, you're trying to find power from the evil, you'll never use the darkness properly. You'll never actually introspect and gain wisdom about yourself. You see what I'm saying? You'll never be wise enough to understand how they're deceiving you. You see how multi-layered this fucking finesse is? It really is a finesse. And it's a good finesse, I'm not gonna lie, when you don't actually have proper wisdom and understanding about what the fuck's actually going on. You see what I'm saying? So because that's their goal, right? When you listen to them, you'll just tap into malevolent. So when you listen to them, right, you'll tap into malevolent energy and become evil while never developing wisdom or developing true power. Because, nigga, if you want to be powerful, right, you need to find the parts of yourself that are powerful, that express them, not just become evil. When you fuck with these niggas, you're like, oh, I'm going to the dark. The dark is evil. I'm powerful. But it's like, nigga, number one, you'll never introspect and become wise. And two, you'll never have true power that comes from light consciousness. You'll never have it. You know what I'm saying? So, now the thing is though, right? You will gain some type of like evil power maybe, but you're not actually tapping into the true essence of power through a light consciousness. While doing evil actions, aka evil expressions, you are acting from light consciousness, but you don't normally realize that, which blocks you from tapping into the true essence of like consciousness, which could be good or evil. Because the thing is, like I said, to do evil stuff, you have to be technically within inside your light. But if you think that light means good, you'll think that you being evil is you being dark. Therefore, you'll never actually understand what light consciousness truly is and the true essence of it, how to truly express power in the most raw and pure way, whether you do it for good or evil. You know what I'm saying? So your mind would just be all kinds of fucked up, right? Also, you will never really see the hidden aspects of yourself. You'll never see your true shadow. Because, like I said, you'll think that your shadow side is your evil side, not your hidden side. Therefore, you'll never actually see the hidden aspects of yourself, which is your true shadow. And instead, you'll just be an evil person who isn't aware of the deeper aspects and the hidden aspects of their soul. You see what I'm saying? So, that's the whole entire war. So, how do you actually win the war? All right, so I'm gonna give different steps. I don't think these are in any. I don't think that these are in any particular order, but they might be. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll just say I'll act like it is. So number one, right? Deconstruct your mind from thinking that light means good and dark means evil, because people will hear the teaching of what I'm saying, but still not fully deconstruct their mind. It's kind of like when I say that the physical is the it's kind of like when I say that the physical is not the 3D, and people get what I'm saying, but they still call the physical the 3D. Like if you want to if you say you want to truly understand, right, then stop keeping these false concepts inside your mind. You need to deconstruct these things, right? You need to actually break down these beliefs and rebuild the new ones. So just because you understand this teaching, right, doesn't mean that you're going to always follow it by saying the true proper terms. That's why once you fully understand this, you must train yourself and deconstruct your mind from thinking that light means good and dark means evil. It took me a while, but I eventually got there and I could easily understand this shit just like that. When I was in the process of deconstructing, I still understood this teaching, but I would kind of mess it up sometime, which also led to a messed up perception within inside certain scenarios. Once I fully deconstructed my belief of light being good and dark being evil, and I actually rebuilt the proper belief, I became a G with what this light and dark shit really is. You know what I'm saying? Now, once you deconstruct, like I said, right? Once you deconstruct, realize that light is expression and dark is introspection, and that your shadow is simply just the hidden parts of yourself, which you are meant to introspect into, right? Now, once you understand that, once you fully deconstruct and reconstruct it properly, right, begin to actually introspect and dive into your shadow and rectify the parts of yourself which you wish to ignore, whether it's malevolent aspects of yourself, or it's simply just your fears, or it's simply some insecurities, whether it's some karma you gotta resolve, whatever it is, introspect into that shit and rectify those parts of yourself, right? Now, as you clear up these basic things that deal with like malevolent aspects, different fears, insecurities, past memories that you kind of want to forget, once you clear up all this stuff, keep on introspecting and dive deeper into your shadow, which will actually allow you to connect more with the hidden parts of your soul and learn more about yourself, which will allow you to get more wisdom about yourself. So once you clear out all the bullshit, the fears, the securities, whatever the fuck, right? Once you clear out all that shit, when you dig deeper, you tap more into your actual soul. So you did the basic shadow work of, you rectified all these things that you were insecure about. You cleared out all this shit, and now how much I get unbuttoned? Anyway, and now, nigga, it's time to dive even deeper and tap into your soul, right? Now it's time to understand your soul, understand the past karmas that you have, understand your past lives, all these things. You see what I'm saying? Now, as you do this introspecting deeper, you may recognize many parts of yourself which actually are powerful, but you might not be expressing them. So as you find these parts of yourself which may be powerful, use your light consciousness and express these very powerful but not evil parts of yourself. For example, your confidence. You may dig deep and find that, you know what? With the side of this certain field, I'm really confident. Once you realize that, it's time to express that confidence in any other good qualities, which will allow you to have more of an external effect on your reality, right? Now, in order to stay balanced, make sure that you're constantly introspecting into yourself, but make sure to also express yourself into the world. The thing is, your light should grow in equal proportion to your dark. The more wisdom you gain about yourself, the more of that you should express inside the world. They evenly increase. You see what I'm saying? So as you tap more into yourself, understand yourself on a deeper level, you'll also be able to express yourself and express all these deep truths which you have tapped into. You see what I'm saying? So this is how you win the war, by being truly balanced, healing the hidden parts of yourself that you ignore, gaining more wisdom and understanding of your soul, and expressing your true, authentic nature in the world to fulfill your mission and your purpose, which you cannot fulfill that mission or purpose without doing introspection and learning more about who you truly are and why you even came on the earth and how to properly express those parts of yourself which you came to express on the earth for your mission. You see what I'm saying? So I hope this gave a clear blueprint as to what your shadow actually is, what malevolence really is, what darkness really is, along with understanding how there is a war on your shadow. People try to lie about your shadow and try to either scare you from your shadow or just make you tap into an evil part of yourself and say that's your shadow, but it really isn't. You know what I'm saying? There's this huge war on your shadow, and it's very intricate. You may have to rewatch this video to kind of understand the warfare a bit more, how to properly operate and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, you know, and I hope you also have a understanding about how to actually win this war by simply being a balanced person, tapping into yourself, learning more about yourself, expressing those parts of yourself, always being externally and internally focused. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that even balance. You know what I'm saying? So drop a like on this video because this was some sauce. Subscribe if you're new. I got more sauce coming. I do reaction videos nowadays. You know, I do those. I'm gonna still keep on teaching on here, but if you want more consistent teaching, go on the Patreon down below. I'm damn near teaching some new shit every single day. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I love you. I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Peace the freak out.